Jason here. Today we're going to look at lofting, which is the process of taking a set of measurements from boat plans and drawing those measurements out to create the station forms, which we then use to build the boat. Okay, so looking at the table of offsets, you'll see a series of numbers as well as different headings. So you should have a heading that is the table of heights, and under that you'll have a shear and a profile. And those are the two most important numbers that we'll be using. You might have other figures in there, but for the purpose of the video, we'll just be looking at those two. And then you also have a table of half breadths. So first we need to understand what these numbers represent. So from this explanation or this demonstration, we have three sets of numbers. And the first column represents feet, and then the second column represents inches, and the third represents eighths of inches. And then you'll notice that some have a plus sign, and what that means is 1/16 of an inch. Sometimes the table of offsets will be set out differently, and instead of having feet, inches, and eighths of inches, you'll just have inches and eighths of inches. Okay, now that I've established a 2-inch grid across my sheet stock, I'm going to draw a baseline, and that baseline will later be used when I go to measure off my table of half breadths. Okay, so the next thing to do is to mark off our center line, and since I want to try to get as many station forms as I can out of each piece of sheet stock, I'm going to mark from the edge of my sheet, and I'm going to just look at my table of offsets to see my largest width. And looking at the half breadths, the shear is 8 inches, 2/8, and a 1/16. So I know 10 inches on either side will be sufficient. So I'm going to come into the 10-inch mark from the edge of the sheet and draw my center line there. Okay, the next step is to draw my shear line. And according to the plans, my shear line is at 7 inches and 1/8. So marking down from the baseline, I'm going to come down 7 inches and 1/8 and draw a straight line across. Okay, so the next step is to mark the profile. The profile is at 1 foot, 5 inches, and 3/8. So I'm going to just down the center line, mark off at 1 foot, 5 inches, and 3/8, plus a 1/16. Okay, we're going to start marking off our half breadths now. And the first one is at our shear line. And the measurement for this station is 8 inch, 2/8 plus a 1/16. So 2/8 is 1/4 of an inch. So 8 inches, 1/4 of an inch plus a 1/16. Okay, now I'm going to continue marking And the next measurement is at the 8-inch, then the 10, 12, 14, and finally the 16-inch mark. Now that's measured down from the baseline. So at the 8-inch mark, I'm going to measure out 8 inches and 1/8. Okay, now that I've got all the half breadths marked, I'm now going to just take small finishing nails or any small nail that you have and tack them into the marks that I've made, and then I'll use a batter and trace the line. Okay, the last thing that we need to do is to label the station form, so just write the number on it so we know which is which when we go to set them up, and also to draw lines from the baseline down to the form to widen the base so that we have enough room to attach it to the strong back.